Hi, I am Dimitri from Silver and Young Private Wealth, and I'd like to welcome you to a new episode of Behind the Wealth podcast. We explore, investigate, and analyze topics of wealth creation. Hi, my name is Dimitri from Silver and Young Private Wealth, and I would like to welcome you to our new episode, Behind the Wealth. In our first episode, we had the title Fattening Your Purse, and we dealt with the first rule, fattening your purse, which was for every 10 coins, every $10 we earn, we take one coin or $1 and we put it on the side, and then we adjust our living expenses, our expenses with desires and toys, with the 9 out of the 10 coins we earn. Or if we are a business, then we take a percentage of the business top line and we put it on the side, outside of the risk and activities of our business, and then we deal with the rest of the business needs with the rest of the percentage. And as I said before, it needs a little bit of thinking what is the percentage, because every business is different. So today we're going to deal with the next 3 rules how to fatten your purse. And the first most obvious rule is how to control your expense. Then the second is how you make your coins multiply. And the third rule we deal today, and the fourth in the process, is how you can guard your coins from loss. So let us deal with the first rule of today's rule. How you can control your expense. And of course you probably ask me the question, for God's sake, I earn 10 coins and I need to spend them all because the 10 are not enough for my spending, and you're asking me now to spend only 9 out of the 10 coins. Correct. That's what I'm asking you to do if you want to create wealth and passive income in the long term. But there is a way we can adjust this, and there is a way we can achieve this. One way is, of course, and the most valuable tool is to do a budget. And what is really a budget? A budget is a way that we can take a spreadsheet or a piece of paper and we write down all our income and all our expenses, mainly at this point, regarding the weekly, monthly, or yearly expenses. And then we categorize as an absolute necessary expenses and discretionary expenses. And why we do this? The absolute necessary expense, it could be food, it could be pay rent and a mortgage, it could be education for the children, it could be pay the business bills, it could be pay wages for our staff members, pay the tax office. Whatever it is, it depends on the activity you have. If you are a wages and salary earner or you are a business person, the budget has to be appropriate, of course, and customized to your needs. And what it happens by writing down all your expenses, even in the most simple way, if you don't have a spreadsheet, which is very easily now, get it on the internet from any website. What it does, it highlights your expenses and your needs. And then what you take this and you say, okay, if I had my brother, my sister, my best friend, provided this piece of information with their budget, how critical I would be? Say, for example, and I'll give you an example. We have a young staff member in our family, in our firm here, that he goes for a haircut for every 10 days, max every 2 weeks, and he pays $35. And then one day we said to that person, for God's sake, why do you need to go every 2 weeks? Because I need to be, my hair grows fast. So we said, if you don't go every 2 weeks and you go every 3 weeks, and instead of paying $35, pay $30, this is how much the savings you do, and probably the result is going to be the same. So of course the guy had the second thought and rejected it at the time, but slowly I think he did it, and he applied this advice from all of us around him in the office, and suddenly every 4 times or 5 times you have one time you don't have to go and do this expense, and adds up at the end of the day. Another scenario is, for example, in a family budget you can have Foxtel and Netflix, a Stan and this and that, because this has a little bit of that and this has a bit of that as subscriptions. This is also things that we can really take out of the equation, because then it will help us live on the 9 out of $10 or 9 out of 10 coins we earn, and adapt our wages and our expenses, for that purpose. Because what is the benefit for us? The benefit for us is to save the 1 every 10 coins we earn every time, or to save that percentage for our business for us. So the rule is pay yourself first. And this is what it does when you take 1 coin for every 10 coins you earned. The aim of your budget is to pay for your living expenses and pay for all your worthwhile desires. And this is very critical to understand. What is worthwhile desires? I mean, if you earn $100,000 and you go and buy a $100,000 car because it's your desire, it's almost 1 year wages. But is worth this expense? Or it is better to buy a $50,000 car, or even $30,000 car, or even $20,000 car that will do exactly the same work and have this $80,000 in your bank, or $50,000 or $70,000 in the bank, to do something different, to earn you some money for the future. So the second rule of how to fatten your purse is control your expenses. Another little tool is, when you do your budget, discuss it with a very good friend of yours that he is money savvy. So he understands money, he is a bit good in saving money, and discuss this budget with him. Be open to his or her criticism, because it is for your benefit. But another set of eyes is very helpful to identify what you need to cut. And a very good example for that is, for example, some people have a boat, and a boat is a quite expensive item to have for fishing. And I had this discussion between 2 friends doing a budget with me, and when one friend found the other friend had this expense, he said, I mean, for God's sake, when was the last time you took your boat out? It was a little boat, it's nothing superior or extremely expensive to hold. And the guy said, maybe 2 years ago. So suddenly everyone laughed. He said, yeah, I need to cut this. And then, of course, he made an effort to put in the following summer, spring, the boat for sale. He sold it, and he saved all this trouble, carry, license, whatever he needed to do, and maintenance, and all these related expenses. And then, so now we move to the third rule, and for today is the second rule for fattening the purse. Make your coin multiply. Okay, we worked hard, we earned our coins, and then we took 1 coin or a percentage of our top line business and we put it on the side. We adjusted our 9/10 of our coins, 9 coins, $9, 90%, or the left percentage of the business expenses adapted to the new percentage for us to satisfy our needs. Now, what we do with whatever we put on the side? You need to make this coin work hard. We need this little soldier that we have, 1 soldier, 1 coin, to make it work and multiply, get married, multiply, and work harder for the common good of the family. And how we do that? It is very easy to go and say, I'm going to invest it in this and that, in that particular area. And a lot of people, the first question they ask is, how much is going to be my return? How fast is it going to grow? When the first question should be, how safe is my investment? How well I understand my new investment? How much willing I'm going to, and I'm happy to take a loss in case something goes wrong. Not how much is the percentage straight away. This is also important to understand how much is the profit or the potential return of that investment, because this is relates to a risk and relates if it's worthwhile to take that risk. But the first really question is, how safe is my investment? It is understandable to my current financial knowledge and ability. And the third one is, what is the percentage return of that investment? And I would say also very important, what is the exit strategy? For example, I bought a parcel of shares. I bought BHP today and it is $37. Okay, how much I'm willing to lose from my share portfolio if BHP doesn't perform the way I'm expecting? $10, $5, 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, that percentage, it needs to be quantified, qualified, recorded, and then this is part of your plan. Yes, if this particular share drops more than 10, 15, whatever percentage is, then I'm out, no questions asked. And if it goes back, I go back again, because the maximum loss I can take for every risk I have on a parcel of share is that. So this is part of your investment plan. So this is part of how you can make your coin multiply year in, year out. A lot of people, they think the grass on the other side is a lot greener. They want to go to business, and the moment they collect and they save some coins, some dollars, some funds, some equity in the house, some gains in the share portfolio, some savings in the business activities, they want to do the next activity and go bigger and harder because they have the confidence of the previous success. And this is then the trap. The trap is to become overconfident, to have this superiority that you understand better because you've done it once and you ignore the rules of the game. The other problem is that you have the problem that especially if you haven't started a business, that the media talks about the success of the entrepreneurs. A lot of entrepreneurs succeeded, they did this app, they did that, and become millionaires. Yes, they don't talk about the 98% of business or entrepreneurs, or maybe 95%, if I'm really conservative, of they lost the money. So this hard earning money, your little soldiers that you created and you saved as you earned your salary and wages and as you earned your business income, don't throw them to a battle that they're going to lose. No, save them, because this is your backup and this is your financial guards. So you don't want to burn them and sacrifice them because it's a good potential, because it sounds good. So you still need to understand the business. You still need to understand how you can get out of that business if you want to go to a business or start a business. If it is just purely a passive investment, you need to understand the investment. If you need to buy a big asset, like say for example a property, you need to understand what is negative gearing, what is positive gearing, what is the tax law, what potential information you need to know if capital gains tax and how it's going to change with government, and what is the other opportunity cost if you didn't buy this property but you put it in your super or put it somewhere else. So you need to analyze that, and you need to have the knowledge and information to get this final decision. And of course, one cardinal rule is we don't expect, and nobody expects, and I think you agree with me, you cannot know everything about everything and be an expert for everything, because it is almost impossible. Very few people are experts in a very wide range of issues. So then what you need to do, you need to ask someone who is capable and someone who is knowledgeable. And this is where we go now to the third rule we're dealing today: save your coin, or safeguard your coin. So you need really to go and ask someone who is successful in that business, or the enterprise that you did in that business, regarding the new thing you want to do. How do they do, and what is your issues that you have to think about and you have to be concerned about. And I'll give you an example. The example is that, for example, you want to buy a coffee shop. The coffee shop has turnover, sells coffee, sells sweets, sells salads, sells sandwiches, sells juice. Okay. You need to understand the profit of each one of them. You need to understand the combination and the labor effects for each one of them. If, for example, you give just a sweet and it takes 2 seconds to give the sweet, the labor is probably a few cents. But if you need to do a coffee, or you need to do a sandwich on demand, so people tell you put this and this and this, the labor cost is different. So you need to justify and understand the whole business, how it works. And a lot of times you don't have this information. So what you need to do, you need to ask someone who did this before successfully. You need to ask someone who did already, not maybe once or twice, but more than twice, and succeeded more than 5 or 7 years in that business. And why I say this 5 or 7 years, because sometimes people succeed by fluke. They had a business that did all right, just happened, and if anyone was in that type of business at that time, he would do all right. But the person who succeeded twice or 3 times in this type of business, he has more credentials and more trust that he is really the person who knows what he's doing. If you don't have a specialist about that particular type of business that you want to go in, or this particular type of investments that you want to invest your saved coins, then what is the next person to ask? It's probably a person who succeeded in his own business, although he's not exactly in the same business as you want to go, or he succeeded in general investments, but maybe not exactly the investments that you want to go. This is the second best. And of course, another alternative is to engage a professional. A professional who is successful on his own right, professional that will be recommended probably by some person that already used them, and he has some credit with this person. It will be probably a better outcome than get someone that you don't know at all. And a professional who likes this type of investment, who maybe has invested in this type of investment. And even if he burned in this type of investment, it's also a pot of knowledge to tell you what to look after and what to be careful. And at the end of the day, you have to take all this information and make your own up mind. The main thing is to make your coins and safeguard your coins from the loss, because we earn them, we put them on the side, we save them, then we adapt to our expenses, and then the other one is to let them invested and multiply, and then the next one is save them from the loss. The other important thing is, which I already mentioned, it is how much loss we can accept. Say, for example, you have to have an exit strategy. It is not always easy, because if you buy a property, what is your exit strategy? I bought a property for $700,000 and it dropped 600. Should I get out? It's a complicated question. It's not as easy if, say, you buy BHP for $37 and it's dropped $10 and you say, I get out. Usually it's a smaller amount, less important materially compared to a big item asset. but still you need to have a worst case scenario. Or if you deal with the scenario that, okay, the property is 12, 15 years old investment, it's not get in and get out quickly. If the property drops so much and I am without tenant for so much time, do I have the cash flow to support this worst case scenario? And if I have the cash flow to support this case scenario, if I have the stomach to carry this negative event of loss of income or diminishing value of the property, and I'm quite satisfied with that scenario, I can handle it psychologically and financially, then it ticks the boxes for me to go and buy that investment and do this investment. But if it doesn't tick that boxes, and if you can't live with a scenario that the property can drop 10 or 15%, even if you have the cash flow to sustain, then you probably should not go and do it, or you have to consider it a lot more careful. On the other hand, if you don't have the cash flow to support the worst case scenario, say you are without tenant for 3 months, 4 months, and it's very easy in a commercial property to be out without tenant for 6 months, and you cannot control and you cannot have the cash flow, even if you have the risk tolerance and the stomach to adjust this and take it, the bank is going to be on your full step and ask for the money, and then will be all the trouble that you don't want to be involved. I have a tip for saving and protect your coin and your little treasure, the way to building the built treasure. And the tip is consult all the people. Consult all the successful people. And I'll tell you why. You know, people who are on the same age like you or with you, somehow there is a bit competition. You know, I bought one house, I bought one unit, our house is better than unit, but my unit is in a better position than your house, but my house has a land, and the land is probably more potential, but my unit has depreciation, but the depreciation, and then you go to these conversations, argument nicely or not nicely, and there is a competition. And not everyone has the ability and the psycho and the soul richness that if I share my good ideas, it doesn't take anything from me sharing the good ideas that I have, and it doesn't make me less, because the universe and God provides for all of us, and there is plenty for all of us if we want to go ahead and acquire. But the younger people, younger people, same age people, I would say, they're somehow a bit more in a small competition. You know, I've done all right. Yeah, I've done all right too. Yes, my car is good. Yeah, my car is also this. So I found that when you consult older people by 10, 15, and maybe 20 years older than you, people who just retired or semi-retired or close to retirement, and they are successful, they're happy to give you everything. Because for them, it is nothing. They've done it. They are on a different level from you. They're in different stage from you. But there is a caveat for that. He has to be a positive person. He has to be a person that you have to earn a little bit of his respect and trust. You have to make him like you a little bit before he opens his heart and spend time and effort explaining and advise you. So you need to do this for the obvious reason. And the other thing is, older people like to give to the other people. It is somehow in our genes. It's like you talk a lot more to your grandchildren about life and wisdom of life than you talk to your own son or daughter. And this is by fact. You need to make a special effort to talk about wisdom of life and financial education and to your son and to your daughter without lecturing and get sick of you. But you talk a little bit more in a nicer way to your grandchildren because you're already 20, 30 years older. And the way you present things are a lot better than you presented 20, 30 years earlier to your son or your daughter. So take this advice. I think it's I was very beneficial of this advice for many times in my life, that the older people tell you one or two things. Sometimes it's a sentence. Sometimes it's just a proverb. Sometimes it's just a direction. Think about this, and it leaves you. I take this and analyze it, and it's a great benefit in my personal view. So, for today's podcast, Behind the Wealth, what is the moral of the story of today? Number one, keep fattening your purse. For every 10 coins you earn, you put 1 coin on the side, and if you are in a business, you make a percentage of your top line and put it on the side. The second rule is control your expenses. By spending only 9 out of the 10 coins you earn, or the remaining percentage from the top line if you are a business, and put aside the rest. And this is also using a budget, using other advice of friends, relatives, and I repeat again, use the advice of positive people, people who are good in handling money, people who already achieved their financial freedom. Then the third rule is make coin multiply and bring to you a consistent stream of income continuously and regularly. And independent of what activity you do from day to day. And the purpose of that is to keep fattening your purse. So what we want to have the savings, adapt the expenses, and then whatever we saved, let it multiply in a safe manner, as much as we can tolerate, in a meaningful manner. And this constant stream of income, although it is small, and it is not materially now because it's only 1 coin, but tomorrow is going to be 2 coins, and after tomorrow is going to be 3 coins, and in no time it's going to be 100 coins and 1,000 coins later on. Let it multiply, multiply, multiply. And this is your financial guards. It's your little soldiers that they are there to defend you in case of financial crisis, and they are there to multiply and grow stronger and stronger and stronger if you leave them alone, to let them grow naturally by themselves. And the fourth of today's rule was guard your new treasure from the loss, and ask successful and positive people around you how to do that. And if you don't have successful and businessmen or family members that, again, they are positive with you personally and positive with attitude in life, then the second best is ask a professional, ask your accountant, your financial planner, someone you trust and be referred to you that he done a good job. So this is our latest episode from Behind the Wealth, provided by Dimitri and Silver & Young Private Wealth. Till next time, I hope you have a good day and you enjoyed today's episode. See you again next time. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed our recent episode Behind the Wealth, provided to you by Dimitri from Silver & Young Private Wealth. If you have any questions regarding our recent episode, please email us on pw, P for Peter, W for Word, @silveryoung.com.au. Until next time, have a good day and enjoy life.